that you can join us. Really pleased to have you all with us today. We're going to be starting in just a couple of minutes. Amal will be leading the session today, and we're very happy to welcome Julie Carienelli. Amal, I hand over to you, and I will sort out the teams as well, because I think we have a couple of participants in a different link. Amal.
Thank you, Eline. Thank you, Julie. So the SPW is really the Department of Vocational Training, especially, is really pleased to host this webinar. And we are happy that Julie accepted to took time to present the practices at the Sowalfin. So the vocational training department is dealing with several subsidy to help training of unemployed people for workers, a very large of target people. And the webinar today will be presented by Julie. She has been working as a teacher in vocational education for 8 years. Since 2 years, she's working as an entrepreneurship advisor at the Sowalfin. And she currently holds the position of entrepreneurship advisor at the Sowalfin. She has been working with EntreComp for a couple of years, so she has really a good experience to share with us today. So thank you, Julie, and the floor is yours to present the practice.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much, Amal, and thank you very much for inviting me. We are really grateful for this opportunity to share a practice we promote in Wallonia. So thank you very much. And I work currently for Sowalfin, and we are partner with Amal and the SPW in development of entrepreneurial soft skills in Wallonia, and in our department in Génération Entreprenante. We are promoting soft skills and entrepreneurial education for youth in Wallonia. So it's our area. Today, I will present you Badgee. It's a tool developed by our team since a few years. And the purpose of this tool is to help youth to enhance their entrepreneurial competencies, and you will know everything about that at the end of this webinar. First of all, I will introduce you to the Sowalfin group to let you understand our context of work. So the Sowalfin group is a company functioning with public funds, and the first mission is the business development of our area. It's also considered as the Bank of Wallonia for medium-sized and mini enterprises. The Sowalfin group is organized in 6 departments, depending on the stage of life of the company. We have the creation department, growth, eco-transition, and so on. And in Génération Entreprenante, we are just above the creation of an enterprise of anything. And so we are working for the creation department. Sowalfin have now 4 main missions. The historical missions is finance, and Sowalfin provide funds, guarantee loan for enterprises. But Sowalfin has also 3 other missions. First, to provide guidance, to support, and the mission we follow with my colleagues is to raise awareness, and we have other department working on this mission too, but we in Génération Entreprenante raise awareness to entrepreneurship, about entrepreneurship with a lot of tool and partnership and with several action. So we are totally in adequation with EntreComp because we consider too that creating value is not only a financial value, but it's also a social, cultural, environmental, and for social and value for society on the wide angle. Our mission, so our program, is led by a team of 6 entrepreneurial education advisors. We are former students, of course, but also teachers, and we are all specialized in entrepreneurial learning and education. Our mission is to support educational stakeholders in entrepreneurial education development. We can provide guidance, we can advise them, we can answer their needs and what they want. In our organization, we have 3 big areas of activity. First, we have turnkey solutions, existing programs, pedagogical activities. The most famous of them is the mini enterprise, and we are partner of the mini enterprise in our mission, but we have a lot of programs promoting entrepreneurial education and developing entrepreneurial soft skills of youth. Second area is funding for projects. It's something we promote for high schools, university, and colleges. And every year we launch a call for proposal, and schools have the opportunity to answer that and to be candidates to receive funds to promote their project in their establishment. Third part of our area is that we propose a very good program of formation training for teachers to help them to promote to increase their skills in entrepreneurial learning and answer their needs. And I say hi to my colleagues Isabelle and Marie-Paul in the room today because they are the leader of training and coaching for teachers, and they are doing that like masters. So our model is to promote, sorry, it's in French, a model of entrepreneurial school. The entrepreneurial school is organized with the 3 areas I just mentioned. You find the pedagogical activity proposed to schools and establishments. We have a very good network of partners. They are specialized and they are following and working to reach the same mission as us, of course. We have our second area, the funding for projects, only for high schools, universities, and college. And the third area, the training and coaching for teachers. And every last years, we register more than 1,000 in subscription to our formation. Just to see our what some key figures. Sorry, I'm starting again. To figure it out what we do. So just some key figures for 2021. Last year we reached 55,000 young people. They were involved in our program that represent 12% of market share. We are really more well implanted in higher education, and it's our challenge for future to increase our market share in secondary and primary school. We, my team and I visited 2,068 establishments and not far from the half of secondary and higher education establishments were actively collaborating with our program, every area concerned. More than 1,000 courses were followed by teachers, and we propose to young people to be support in the development of their project, and nearly 200 of them were overseen, and a third are actually now continuing on the long term. Our methodology is based on two main things. First is the 4 pillars of the pedagogical methodology. First pillar is to take responsibility for your own learning as a learner, of course. Second, the learning by doing. Third, learning by cooperating with others. And fourth, learning from your own past experience to learning whatever to be a lesson for the future. In the same time, with this 4 pillars, we are promoting the development of soft skills, and most of all, we are promoting the visibility of those soft skills. It's a very transversal approach, and we are promoting that in every course, every discipline, we are really in a wide angle. We are promoting, first of all, the transversality of these methodology. Our activity are mainly learning by doing, but we also promote a meeting with entrepreneurs and self-diagnosis of soft skills. I forgot to mention that at the beginning of the presentation, but if anything is not clear, or if I'm going too fast, feel free to note that in the discussion. I have it on just under my look. Feel free to interrupt me if you need it, and at the end we will have a question and answer session anyway. Our extra value is the expertise in entrepreneurial education. We can support education professionals in whatever they need. If I want to create something, if I want to create a project for their school, if they want a training program tailor-made, and then we are building partnerships. Like this partnership with the SPW is a good one for us, because we are working of the same. We share a common mission, and we really want to create bridges between organization sharing our purpose and mission. So now I'm going to the heart of the topic and the subject on this webinar. I will present you Badgee. Badgee is a platform, a tool we create. As I said, our team develop tools to serve our purpose. In addition of these 3 areas I described just before. And those tools are always based on needs we observe on a daily basis with our many exchange with educational professionals. So, why we create Badgee? We made some observations, and we review also the scientific literacy to create this tool and to get it to improve the tool as well. First of all, people aren't confident they are able to launch their project because they don't think they have the necessary skills, ability, and knowledge. That's a first observation. People aren't confident enough to launch their project. and confident, most of all in their skills, ability, knowledge, experiences to launch a project. Second, the academic world, and I speak mainly for the Wallonian reality, it's our reality. The academic world mostly focuses on hard skills and not much on soft skills. So they are not enough known, not enough recognized, and the consequence of that is that soft skills are hard to recognize and to measure. And then it is really difficult to demonstrate that you have soft skills. If you want to react to those observations, feel free to do it. So we answer those challenges with Badgee. Badgee is an online platform accessible from 13 years old with a smartphone or with a computer. The platforms propose you to collect badges based on EntreComp to enhance the soft skills of the learner and, first of all, to reinforce self-confidence on the learner on the soft skills, mainly. We are following a main target that is a valorization of the soft skills and not much about certifications. It's our choice with Badgee. So if you want to live the full experience, I invite you to grab your smartphone and to register in the platform. You will this way live the full experience of the platform in this webinar. So you have the EntreComp and we convert it in Badgee or tool. So feel free to scan the QR code. I will stop for a minute to let you Badgee. First, you will see that we convert the soft skills of the EntreComp framework in pictogram, in small draw, representing what we thought of the skill. So you can have a first translation of soft skills with the draw. Then you have on the left up on the screen your avatar with your name, and then for what you will see on the platform is the compass. The compass is where you can follow your progression as a learner in every skill of the framework. The right part of the screen, I will go through it later with the user experience I prepare. The opportunity Badgee offer is that at any time the learner can print out a PDF of the progress, and the PDF is a resume that can be added to the curriculum of the learner with a synthetic view of the skill they work on during the academic journey. Like you have the three areas with the skill, and on the right the activity participation, and you will see yours growing up with the practical essay. So are you ready to start your entrepreneurial journey? I think so. I see. I think people are ready. So first activity, I invite you to scan. So you can use your smartphone and scan the QR code. Is Capado. I will introduce you to Lisa. Lisa is quite young right now, and she is leading her first project on her own. She received a kit of tools, giving her the keys to develop her autonomy and manage her own project. Capado is a partner program. In the progression of EntreComp, it's in the foundation one, the first third part, the first steps of building the autonomy, and Lisa is relying on the support of others. It's a 40 hours activity, and if you scan the QR code, you will receive the working with other badge, the creativity badge, the motivation and perseverance, the mobilizing resources, taking the initiative, and planning and management. You will receive that in your smartphone. At any time, you can follow your progression in the compass I just show you in the previous slide. So, if you're okay, I will go with a second activity. Lisa grown up a little bit. Lisa and the classmates have 5 sessions to create a project related to one of the 17 Sustainable Development Goals of the United Nations. This is a program called DEFIDE. Also, in the foundation area of the progression EntreComp, they are still relying on the support of others. And this is a program of 20 hours activity. If you scan it, you will receive the badge you see on the right left on the screen. At any time, you can see that your compass is growing and growing depending on the activity you go through. Third activity, this is an entrepreneurial project, so this is not a partner program, and this is a project school applied for our funding for projects. So as a partner, the school is invited to promote soft skills in the project, and Lisa is collecting all those badges during this learning of entrepreneurial project. Here, I'm going to show you another possibility of the platform. So I will quit my sharing and show you live on the platform. So Badgee, as you can scan QR code, as I just showed, but you can also use this possibility. It's valorise tes expériences in English, that can be translated by valorization of experiences. So if you click here, you go to new experience. I want to valorize a training as Lisa did as a stage. I go with the professional experience. What was the experience? Enterprising training program. I describe I won't describe it right now. I just go with an example. Here I have to check the duration. It was a training program between 4 and 6 months. I wrote that full time during 4 and 6 months. And I made decision to measure the autonomy level often. So I go with these criteria to valorize my training. I can select 16 stars, representing, of course, the badges I can collect. So I choose as a learner, okay, it was the creativity. Yes, I think I was creative during my training program. And you can select whatever you want as a learner to valorize it in Badgee. So I will going with, I will select a few of these competencies. Why is this area important? Is because if you remember what I said before, it's always complicated to recognize the soft skills. Thanks to this possibility of Badgee, it's a first step for the learner to think about, okay, what did I just learn? What skill did I develop during this experience, any experience like scout, training program, student job, so whatever they want. Okay, I selected my badges, I keep going. It's the synthetic view of what I select as experiences. So I agree with that, I agree, that's perfect, I keep going. Here is the big extra value of this tool is that you can add a third part validation. As I was valorizing a training program in an enterprise, I can select the name and the mail address of my stage responsible. So I can, my stage, I'm going to with my name to be sure to show you how does it work. So Julie Carienelli was my stage training program responsible. I go with my address and I will show you what happened. Oh, that didn't went well. And I ask Julie Carienelli to give validation of this experience. Julie Carienelli just received an email for the validation, and I will show you the interface when you receive a validation proposition. And I will go with a new sharing. Yes. So this is here the first line. Julie Carienelli, notice you are a confidence person to validate a professional experience. I go with this. And I can have a view of what the learners think about the soft skills he developed. I have three possibilities right now as a third part validator is to say, okay, everything is perfect for me. I go with it. You select, I think you select the right badges for the experience. I can also totally reject it if I think it's a fake or whatever, or it wasn't really for me. And I can also give nuance of what the learner declare and select it as badge. And I can say, okay, Julie, I think that this one, believe in self-confidence, you mobilize it like 1, but thinking the sustainable development, I think you will 2, and you can nuance the results. And then when you are okay with that, you validate and confirm. And you can find the experience in the PDF. If you want to access the PDF, I didn't show it, but I will right now. This is here, downloading my profile in PDF. And as you can see, I will show you mine. the experience I just valorized is now in my profile. Are you seeing the PDF? Yes, Hugo?
Julie, we can see the PDF. There is a question from Milena
Yes.
in the chat. Just have a quick look, because I think it's...
Yes, email on the platform. No, it's sent on my personal email, and I don't have to be registered in the platform to validate. It's totally open. You just have to validate, and that's it. You don't have to be registered in the platform. And as you can see here, you have the enterprise training program. I just valorized, add it in my personal profile. So this is a second way to improve your PDF and your compass and your progression with Badgee. Oh, thank you, Eileen. Yes, it's definitely easy. We wanted to be open because schools asked about this functionality to valorize soft skills during a training program. It was the main proposition we answered. So I'm going back with the slide. We have a last activity to valorize. Oh, I think that something went wrong. No, you have the slide right now?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay, thank you. Last activity, you can scanning the QR code. This is the last one. It's the program StarTech proposed by our partner WSL. It's an advanced program where learners are taking responsibility. We are proposing and offering this program only for engineering studies, and it's a 120 hours activity. In this program, Lisa is developing an innovative product and service, of course, and a business plan to commercialize it. Then we just finish the little test I offered you to experiment, but to be honest, it's a never-ending journey. Badgee is actually used in many ways. So we propose this, the QR code and the valorization through our partner program, to our funding for projects, through our training program for teachers. But it's also open. Schools are asking to develop more functionality so they can use that as a promoting journey for the learners to enhance the soft skills during the school journey of the learners. So, as I said, Badgee is the never-ending journey, and it can be a companion for from 13 to the end of the academic parcours. We observe that is really motivating for learners to collect the badges, and teachers were the first surprised by this approach. And I can go with, yes. We are planning future developments of the platform, so I can't let you know what we will project for the future. We have a self-diagnosis of entrepreneurial soft skills that is going out in September 2022, so in this September. It's a new feature of Badgee, and the purpose of the self-diagnosis is to identify the entrepreneurial profile of the player. It can be a leader, a creative, an adventurer. There is 7 or 8 profiles possible, and the profiles is also an add-on on the PDF of Badgee. It's a new feature. In 2023, we are planning to develop the teacher dashboard in Badgee. That it's a need we observe, and we have a few schools testing the platform in pilot right now, and it shows really interesting results. Students are really motivated by the platform and the Badgee's collection in their learning, and the extra value is that students become more and more aware about the soft skills during all the educational journey. So it's a win-win in every way. Last development we plan, it's maybe a translation in other languages for 2023 and 2024. So that's it for the presentation of Badgee. I thank you very, very much for your attention, and I open now the question and answer session. I will quit the diapo and be able to see you. There, here I am. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Julie. It was really, really interesting, and I think we still have a lot of work to do together. Continue collaboration for other target people. But okay, I let you the floor, Eileen, to collect the questions.
Absolutely. Hello. That was so interesting, and it's really great to actually be taken through the Badgee, because that's my first time sort of seeing the sort of the true flexibility of it, and being able to validate Hazel's experience, and I can vouch for the fact it is really very easy. I got an email, I clicked on it, and I said, yes, she has done that. So it's really, and I think so. Let's open for questions. I mean, I have a few, I know that, but I'm willing to hear questions from other people as well, because we've got a great group, from our EntreComp Europe partners in the room, from colleagues here in Belgium, and also beyond. So really lovely to have you all with us. Any questions? We've had lots of thank yous through for the presentations from Milena, Carmen, Marie-Paul, Hazel, so really appreciating the experience that you're sharing. Perhaps I can start with a question then. I think it would the development of this tool. You mentioned that you'd had some feedback from schools, for example, on keeping it quite open for that feedback, for that kind of confirmation of the experience. What kind of consultation process did you use during the development? Because it's a complicated bit of coding technology, ed tech that you've actually created. It'll be interesting to see where did that come from. And then we have another question coming through from Milena afterwards.
To be honest, I'm not really aware of what's under the machine Badgee, but we have a very a very good developer working on that. It's really the platform. I didn't show you all the possibilities, but the platform is really have a maximal potential. You can create a very large possibility of badges on trophy to valorize and to identify the possibility and the potential of the learners. There is, but I'm not that aware of what's in the machine. I'm sorry, I'm not the good person to answer that.
Okay, now, but I think there's, as you say, there's a good developer behind that, because really the sort of the user experience is quite simple. It's quite logical. It's quite intuitive, and that's not easy to achieve. That is a good developer. Milena has asked, what about the formal? But Milena, do you want to ask your question? You can open your microphone, perhaps.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you, Julie. Yes, my question is about after the students and the teachers use these tools, at the end they receive something, this profile that is useful in informal CV. But what is the what do you think about the certification of these results? And in your country, is it possible to certificate this kind of competencies, and your tool is able to provide the background for this certification?
It was you point a big reflection actually, Milena. We to develop this tool. It was my former colleagues working on Badgee at this time, and she organized it to collective work group, one with higher education and one with secondary school. That was the two work group initiating, and she was the testers, the beta testers of the tool, and we tried to consider their advices, opinion, reality to develop Badgee. That was the basis of the developing work. And the academic group, the higher education, so high schools and university, wanted an official certification with Badgee. And we think about that, and I remember talking a lot and have a lot of debate on this point, and we choose that we are not certificated anything with Badgee. In our methodology, we are not, because I think that even if the framework is really well think and the learning outcomes are really clear, we cannot be sure as a certification organization that people validating in Badgee are really aware of what the learning outcomes means. Because it's a really large framework with, if I remember, 142 learning outcomes possible. And we weren't really comfortable with the idea to certificate soft skills as creativity. We thought it was really complicated to identify the right position, the right level of progression of the learner. And we weren't really comfortable about that. So we decided that Badgee, we created Badgee because we want a learner has visibility and be able to recognize the soft skills. So that's the purpose we want to reach with this tool. Actually, for now, this isn't a recognized certification tool. It's our choice. We can debate, and I'm really open to get your feedback about that, because it's a really long conversation and debate in our team. So feel free to argument and to feedback about that. We are interested to debate
Julie,
on this point. Yes.
So Julie, since I know Belgium and how it works with the competences and so on, it's not a question of a policy maker that don't want to put it as an evaluation, official evaluation. It's a choice of Sowalfin to don't use it.
Yes, it's a personal choice, because not even Sowalfin, to be honest, Sowalfin group follow our suggestion, but it was really abstract to be able, as we can go. If I'm honest, EntreComp, it's a very nice tool, a very nice framework, but it's a really large one. And I think that if we want that people on a wide angle use it, we cannot ask them to be so expert on the learning outcomes. I'm not sure that all the people using the soft skills are already really deep in the I don't know how to express that in English.
I think what you, it's
there
what you're
are
saying.
a lot of nuances in the learning outcomes, and we are not sure that people are able to feel it, and we, most of all, will take the time to go through the total framework, the large one.
I think you're right there, Julie. I think, and also the purpose behind these frameworks is to make them work as a guiding tool and not something you have to use all of, but something you take what you need. We've got some more questions on the chat. We've also got a hand up from Hazel. Hazel, do you want to come in?
Yes, please. I was just wondering about employers' involvement in this tool and how useful this would be for the workplace and how transferable it might be. The student, after they leave, once they, say they were to gain employment with somebody else, can they continue to use that profile in work and share those details with the employer directly, or is it only through the downloading the report?
It's a possibility, but the platform is quite young in this new version, so we will have to wait to observe that, to be honest.
Interesting point, though, because that sort of, it lends itself to bringing that, to highlighting the value of different experiences that are also, in student jobs, you suggested, but also within the workplace. And maybe, this leads to Carmen's question. Carmen, do you want to open up your microphone and ask the question, or shall I ask it on your behalf? We can see you're there, but we can't see your picture. Carmen, hello.
Hello to everyone. Merci bien, Julie, pour ta présentation. Yes, my question is just switching to English now. Could you please let us know how you are combining the tool, or the use of the tool about soft skills, learning with the technical skills taught in the already existing entrepreneurial courses? So how you combine this? Because we as Chambers of Commerce, we agree with you that most, even for entrepreneurs in real life, most of the entrepreneurial courses are focused on technical skills. I always mention that about financial planning or marketing issues, but not so much on soft skills. So how you combined the both two approaches? Thank you.
Thanks to my colleague Isabelle and Marie-Paul, we have a very good courses program for teachers, because we in our team worked mainly with teachers, but we can translate it for other professionals than teachers. And we have a webinar launched last year, and we are doing it in September, November, I don't remember, Isabelle. But the objective of this webinar is to reflect about, what is the objective of my class, of my course, of the discipline I'm learning, and how can I reach this objective, disciplinary skills, mostly technical skills, and in the meantime creating a strategy, a learning strategy that promote soft skills in the same way. Because I don't think you can work things like work team, creativity, which one else? Mobilizing others as the only thing you work. I think it's always, as a soft skills, apply to technical. So it's mostly a reflection for the learners and the trainers and the people creating the training session to imagine a situation where we can reach the hard skills objective and using soft skills to do that. I think that soft skills, it's not always something you can work on isolation. I don't know if I'm clear. We are not able to work like motivation. How do we work motivation as motivation? We don't think it's the good way to do that. We prefer to work raw motivation through a consistent project, applied in every discipline, every steps of life, every areas, in whatever.
Yeah, thank you. Thanks so much. Yes, I fully agree with you. That's very difficult to teach soft skill as concept. So definitely, I think that this is a very adequate and convenient approach. So thank you. Thanks so much.
You're welcome. Thank you.
That's it. I really like the kind of the contextualizing of these skills that's possible through this tool. You know, it's like I did this practical technical activity and I can demonstrate these skills through it. I really like that. Athanasia, you've got a question here.
Good morning, hello. Thank you very much for your presentation. I found very interesting your platform. I would like to ask you if you aim to translate this platform into more languages for more students to have access. And also I would like to ask you if you aim to collaborate with a summer camp in order not only this program to be online, because I think that the benefits for the students will be more if they have the access to learn from your experience and from some colleagues. Thank you very much.
Yes, it's a project for 2024, maybe 25. We will see, but it's a project we want to achieve in the next year a translation of the tool.
Any thoughts around linking it to a digital portfolio with learners uploading evidence to support their competence claims?
Yes, it was a possibility. We thought about that. It's in the box of possible development of the platform, but to use it in French, we call that portfolio.
Yeah.
I don't know if it's the same in English.
Yes.
Using Badgee as a portfolio, following the learner is a possibility too.
Thank you. Yeah, and perhaps then Milena has got a question.
Yes, I want to know if it will be a free tool or people have to pay, people or association have to pay to use it.
It's a free tool for all Wallonian residents, because we receive a subvention of the Wallonian government, and so it's a service we develop with public funds for our specific area, Wallonia in Belgium.
So I think we need to talk to the government about the potential to take this beyond borders. I think there's
yes, I think you have to meet the president of the administration board.
I think there'd be some. I mean, it's I'm a fan, so and I can see the applicability of this. Hazel's putting her hand up as well. I think there's a few people around the room to different contexts and different countries, regions as well.
Yes, we are totally open to discussion and collaboration about the tool, of course.
Okay, great. Okay, can I ask a question? I don't know if you've covered this, but you say it's open to all Wallonie residents in Wallonie. How many students are actually using it?
For now, I didn't check this morning, but I think we had 8,000 registered on the platform. And but we have many challenges we we have many challenges with Badgee, to be totally honest with you. Is first to clearly involve all of our partners, because some partners are not currently see the potential of the platform, so we have to communicate it more about that. And I think that the future development of the dashboard for the teacher is going to reach another level for Badgee, because we have a lot of demands in that area. So a teacher really want to have their dashboard on Badgee, and to give the badge and to offer and to valorize the soft skills of their students. But for now, the platform is quite close, and a teacher has to ask in our team to have the QR code, and that's not for, that's totally not free as a functioning. So I think that the dashboard will really open the tool to the public.
And is it used? You say it's used in schools primarily.
Yes.
Is it also used in vocational education?
We already talked about that, Amal, and you were thinking to promote.
It's one of the collaboration
the tool.
We would like to continue here, and to see how it can be possible to transfer this practice for vocational training. We are already working now on a tool, because we had a small experience with the EntreComp and certification for the chèque formation à la création d'entreprise, which is a subsidy for entrepreneur. So it's one of the things we are developing now, and I hope in a couple of months or in 1 year we will come back to you with an event to present this.
That'd be great. And so
I was just wondering what sort of how closely does it align to existing curricula, or how easy do you think it'll be to integrate in terms of feedback, initial feedback? Is it something that's separate, or is it something that educators find quite easy to use as a part of their teaching?
Yes, I think it's an add-on, the curriculum, an add-on, because it's always difficult as a candidate to say, yes, I'm a creative one, I'm good in work team and so on. It's not to prove anything, but to show, okay, look, during my academical journey, I use a lot of time these competencies, and I think I can do with work team, with creativity, and whatever you can find on the framework.
I really like the fact that it's owned by the learners themselves, and I like the fact that it sits above the curriculum in that sense, because then it's more easily collects experience from across their lives, and then it's much richer for that. Really emphasizes and highlights the transversal nature of the competences and makes them easier to take forward and apply to different and more unfamiliar situations. I really like that. That's why I'm very interested in sort of how they take it, how portable is it, and ways of boosting the currency of it to different situations like employment. I think it's brilliant. Lots of potential.
Absolutely. Athanasia, you've got your hand up.
Yes, I would like to ask you regarding the results of this platform. I am a PhD candidate. I'm searching about best practice in formal education, and I think that your platform is a kind of best practice. And I would like to ask you if you believe and if you have results that this platform benefit to the improvement of entrepreneurship competencies of students in your area, because I would like to include your platform in my research.
Okay, thank you very much. To be honest, we can exchange more later, so feel free to contact me. You will receive my mail and my phone. But to be totally honest, this Badgee wasn't at the beginning based on EntreComp, because EntreComp wasn't existing at its time. So this evolution in based on EntreComp is only 2 years, and in 2 years we don't have a lot of feedback, and most of all quantifying feedback. We have a lot of quality feedback, and I can share that with you if you want, but quantifying it's most difficult because it's not long enough, to be honest. We imagine the platform on a middle term, and we have to now wait a few years to see the first register keeping their journey. But the platform has the ability to show us the most potential learners. To be honest, we can follow the journey of the most potential students. The platform has this potential.
I think that's something that's very, very exciting about the tool, is the data that it collects, in the sense that you will be able to sample people, you know, broad areas of strength. What are groups of young people like, good at? What do they need extra support with? And that distance travel data, you know, those steps. I love that spider web profile. I love that, and the fact that it can sort of fill up. It's very satisfying and motivating. But also the data available from that, you know, the numbers. It would be very easy to build in some algorithms to extract some really lovely data, I think.
Sure. The potential is existing, and when I say that the developer is really good, he is I think some kind of genius, because when I took the project when my colleague leave, I was like, okay, this is a Lamborghini. I told him in this world, okay, this is a really high potential platform, and we have to boost it for our teacher, our learners, and we have a lot of demands from teacher and learners. And to share with you an experience, my former colleague Catherine, who was the architect of Badgee at the beginning, leave our team and went back to teach in her school, and she's currently developing Badgee as a portfolio for their students. And so she found some colleagues interested in the practice, and then they launched it quite shyly this year. But at the end of the year, other colleagues were at the beginning totally opposite of the thing. They were like, no, this is not interesting. There is no potential in that thing. At the end of the year, those same people came to see her and to say, okay, finally, maybe I will be interesting. Why? Because students were asking those teachers, okay, and you don't go with Badgee, I want to have more badges. So this was on the impulsion of students that teachers were thinking, okay, so maybe there is a potential in this platform. And we observe that it increases motivation for the learner. It's more or less the same thing as the Pokemon Chase, if you know the app Pokemon Go. It's pretty much the same mechanic behind that in the user. We are touching the collector as a gamer. You know, the mechanic of the game is to touch the collecting fiber in the user.
Yeah.
It's collecting knowledge. I think it's a good thing, more than Pikachu of Christmas or something like that.
I think, yes, definitely. Okay. There is, I wonder, you know, perhaps going forward as well, because it would be quite interesting. It's not the same, but on the in the Flemish, in Flanders, they have Compass Me, which I don't know if, it's not quite the same, but it might also, I'm just thinking what you're talking about, Athanasia, you might be interested to look at Compass Me as well as a tool that's also used in formal education. Again, not quite the same, but it's something that it could be interesting to take a look at. So, and
Hazel, I can see your reflection on the chat. I would expect learners to gain learning from experience, recognizing own strengths and areas for development. To be the future self-diagnosis is a radar as a radar presentation, and the learner will be able to see what is strengths and weakness and choose to work on that.
Lovely.
That's our next development for September 22.
I think it's great.
Okay. Now, do we have any more questions coming through? I think I've already had some requests to share the recording of this webinar. So the recording will be up on the EntreComp Europe YouTube channel, and obviously it will also be on the EntreComp Europe website. Now, if we bring this to a close, I would also like to just say a big thank you to Julie and to Amal for bringing this webinar together. A really interesting experience. It's an opportunity, I think, to see how badges can be gamified a little bit, to really start to engage students, to start to excite them, and to make these competencies visible. Because when we talk about EntreComp, it's how you use it. You take some, you take all, you go deep, you stay light. This is something that sits on top of the curriculum. It shows learners the kinds of competencies that, employers are saying we need these. And these learners are becoming aware of the language, that employers are seeking to hear. I am creative, because I have shown evidence through my Badgee process that, I can have ideas and I can do something with those ideas in different ways. And this is the sort of that evidence and even the validation from people to say, yeah, she did do that, he did do that. And that's a great example of really showing and empowering learners with that self-knowledge, because ultimately this is self-efficacy that we're creating, entrepreneurial self-efficacy. And we would like to share this entrepreneurial self-efficacy with you guys too, because as part of the EntreComp Europe project, we have badges and you can apply for badges, people. The badges, the link is right here in the chat. It is so easy to become an EntreComp supporter. All you have to do is fill out a few boxes, say why you're interested, say who you are, and then say, yes, I support this work. I support the philosophy of these competencies being introduced into lifelong learning. That's all you're saying. And then you can share that on LinkedIn, on Twitter, on Facebook, in order that, we'd like to go viral. It's a big ask going viral, but we'd like to get a bit more viral. That would be great. Tiny bit viral.
One of the things we really love about badges is it motivates and inspires people. It invites people to become part of the community and to learn more and to connect. It's a really brilliant relationship building tool.
Exactly.
It opens doors. They're keys to other things. It takes you further.
And that's it. And to go further, you can also become an EntreComp Explorer, where you have to share one example of something that you do around entrepreneurial learning that is of use, creates value for perhaps learners, perhaps children, early years, PhD candidates, perhaps teachers, perhaps other people in your community. Any, sort of that kind of concept of something you do that is around being entrepreneurial and being a practitioner, supporting others to explore this. Simple practices. So you can go to that link and you can just click to become a supporter. I shall hopefully see live the number of badges that come through. I cannot emphasize, please click the link, become a supporter. And also then you can be an explorer. And then we will celebrate you and celebrate your practice and make you more visible, make your work more visible, and share you through newsletters and invite you your way into all of you, the supporters, the explorers, into the EntreComp community. And that's what you will get a link into. And that's the community that all of us in EntreComp Europe and other partnerships and partners across Europe and beyond are really trying to bring together, because it is this way of connecting people. We're doing so much. And, you know, we've heard from Julie, Sowalfin, Badgee, Génération Entrepreneur, entrepreneurial schools. There's huge amounts we can all learn from. If we connect, if we can share, if we can learn from our others and help others to learn, then, you know, we move ahead faster together. And that's what EntreComp Europe is about. This collaboration of 5 countries, Belgium, Turkey, Moldova, Spain and Italy. And moving forward, we're involving more countries, more partners into new, different transition approaches in coming forward over the coming years. We really need to bring people in, start to share, learn, and through the badges, be recognized. Please.
You are a good communicator, Eileen. Bravo.
I really like the map. The map is quite... I really like the presentation in the map of the badges, Eileen. That's interesting to see other initiative close to our initiative and we don't know about.
Absolutely. And this is what we're trying to build, is then we can see where to bring things together. And Athanasia, I looked at your conference, the Entreped in Greece, and I'm like, oof, we could take some stuff there. And, you know, so this is it. We could really start to see where to connect and learn together. The map is something that we're trying to build. You can see it on that link there, and you'll see it in a few other pages too. The EntreComp community is a whole platform where we're trying to bring this together. And we just hope to be able to welcome you there. But I think that kind of brings us, hopefully all of us EntreComp supporters, because you've clicked on the link and put your stuff in, to a close for today. Thank you everybody for participating. Thanks again, Amal, Julie, for making this such an interesting session. And yeah, we'll look forward to the next webinar. I think our next webinar will be probably in September now, after the summer. This is our closing one before the summer break, but we'll be back with more activities. And as I say, you can come sign up for an EntreComp supporter badge and you will be kept informed. We will make sure we tell you what's happening so that we can share, connect and learn. And you will already be recognized through your badge. So thanks again. Look forward to seeing you after the summer. And in the meantime, I hope that you have a lovely few weeks of relaxation, if that's possible for you. Thanks, everybody.
Thank you, Eileen. Thank you, Julie. Thank you, everybody.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Bye-bye.
Bye. Goodbye. Julie, on se recontacte.